But these 5 rules, laws, tips, whatever you want to call them, absolutely, you need to be practicing. Hello, my name is Kina. I am the Experience. Welcome back to my channel, which is geared towards everything relationships, dating, and loving yourself always. The title of this video is Mastering Detachment. The subtle art of not giving a you know it. Before we get into the information, I do want you to like this video. Please smash your subscribe buttons. And then, of course, I do want you to comment down below. You guys ready? All right, let's go. So this will probably be one of the most important videos I will put out. A lot of you are attached to a lot of things. A lot of you are attached to a lot of people. That's why breakups are so hard for you. That's why you can't get the bag like you're supposed to. That's why you end up an emotional wreck when you had a job to do, and that was simply get your money up, play with him, date this married man. Whatever your goal was, you don't practice the art of detachment. And that is the problem. A lot of y'all want to live this life, but you can't live this life because you're attached to things. So in this video, we are going to learn the art of detachment from people, from situations, from things. Starting with number 1, I talk about this all the time, and it's self-love. You have to always practice self-love, because if you don't practice self-love, then you're going to be attached to things that don't serve you. You are going to be attached to situations that don't serve you, because you don't really know what makes you happy. You don't know what fulfills you. So you're looking for outside entities, outside sources, outside men, outside women, outside whatever you're looking for outside of you, and it's not outside of you. So when you take a self-love journey, and I don't mean be narcissistic. I don't mean have inflated self-awareness issues where now all of a sudden you think you're better than people. That's not what self-love is. Self-love is knowing that everything you need is here. And then going out in the world and being the best version of yourself without putting people down, without hurting people's feelings, without being malicious, mean, dirty. Self-love is an awareness of yourself and knowing that you don't need any entity outside of yourself to be in love. That's what that is. That's number 1. Number 2, you need to have realistic expectations from the beginning of what this is for you, what this lady means for you, what this man means to you. What is your expectations for the relationship? If he's telling you, hey, I don't want anything from this, I just want to smash you whenever I want to, or you know that you don't want anything from this, you just want to smash him whenever you want to, then you need to know that that's what that is. Believe people for what they tell you. Don't try to decipher it. Don't try to read into it. He told you this, but you heard this. No. Take it for face value. Have a realistic expectation for what this is. What is this? Oh, this a married man? I'm finna play with him for a little while. Oh, this man, he has somebody? I'm finna play with him for a little while. I want this out of this person. I want this out of this person. Okay, I'm gonna get this and then I'm gone. Have a realistic expectation for what this is. Moving on to number 3. You can't master the art of detachment because he's too close to you. He has too much access to you. He can get to you whenever he feels like it. That is cause for problems. He shouldn't have a key to your house. He shouldn't have a key to your car. He shouldn't know your every move. That's too much access. When you give people too much access, when you're trying to detach from them, or you're trying to move on from them, or you've gotten what you needed out of the situation, or whatever you were in the situation for, because now they've had this access, they become part of your routine. So now it's hard for you to detach because he's a part of your everyday life. No. Again, go back to realistic expectations. What do you want from this situation? What do you want from him? You have to know this before you attach yourself to this situation, because it's going to be hard for you to keep your eye on the prize, or your eye on what you're actually going for. What is the goal? Remember, there is a goal. Moving on to number 4. Know that people have the right to change their mind. If he wants to change his mind about you, let him. If he doesn't like you anymore, let him. If she doesn't like you anymore, she decides to change her mind, she decides to move on, allow her. Because people have the right to change their mind. People change their mind every single day. You changed your mind before. You probably just changed your mind today. But knowing this in your head, that people can get up and feel different about the situation. They were in love with you last night, and today they don't want to be with you. Allow them the courtesy to change their mind. They changed their mind, and that's okay. This is going to keep you focused on the goal at hand. What was the goal? And if the goal was to be with them long term, and now all of a sudden they've changed their mind, I don't think that you've had enough conversation about what you really wanted and what they really wanted. Because people, even though they changed their mind, you see the change. You know that they're changing. Sometimes it's gradual. Now, do people change their minds overnight? Absolutely. But majority of the time, you see signs. So you need not to sweep those things under the rug. You need to address them head on. Hey, this is what I'm looking for. Are you still looking for that? Allow them to answer. But allow them to answer and you be open. Because you need to be open to the answer. Because you've asked them. You don't need to argue with them. You don't need to go back and forth with them. If that is their answer, be open to the answer and go back to number 1, your self-love journey. That's how you'll start to master the art of detachment. Number 5, this is my last one. Stop being so emotional around the situation. Stop being so emotional around the situation. Sometimes you're so emotional that it gets in the way of your critical thinking. And I need you to think critically at all times, because this is ultimately your life. You keep winding up in situations where you're heartbroken because you were too emotional from the start and you didn't have enough discussion around what this was, and you did not have a realistic expectation, which is number 2, of what this really was. And you're emotional because you're having second thoughts now. But don't have second thoughts without the conversation. Have the conversation first. And that's how you master the art of detachment, mastering the art of not really involving yourself more than you need to be involved unless it calls for that. But if the situation doesn't call for that, then you need to be very, very, very specific on what you want to see the outcome as. And then you go from there. But these 5 rules, laws, tips, whatever you want to call them, absolutely, you need to be practicing, especially when you know this is a short-term relationship, you know this is what you don't really want this for real, then all of these things need to be done. Now, if you want something else and you want to find love and you want to be in love and these are the things that you want to be able to experience, then you really need to practice self-love still, but then you need to write down exactly how you want it to look, and then that's the conversation you should have. But again, that is a different video. This video is for my people that want and know exactly what they want from this relationship. And once they get it, that is it. They're done. Practicing the art of detachment real subtly, real good. So, yes, go start practicing today. And until next time, I love you guys. You guys take care. You guys be safe. Bye.